a lot of the unfortunate things that happen in our lives, some of them you can't control, like the tragic loss of someone.
Mm-hmm.
But from my experience, I've realized that though it is unfortunate, I brought it on myself.
Well, choices have consequences.
Choices have consequences.
This isn't just a podcast. It's a reminder of what makes America stronger isn't a headline or a hashtag.
It's people, from the ones building our homes to the ones rebuilding their lives.
Veterans, tradesmen, neighbors, and volunteers. Real people doing real things.
Here we find common ground first, and then we work on our differences.
This is the Collective Perspective Podcast,
where purpose, people, and progress meet.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Collective Perspective Podcast. My name is Jeff, and I'm here with my friend Ray Carr, a fitness instructor for Elevate Fitness in Orange Park. I don't know why I keep on thinking Elevate Life.
It's common, man. It's common. No.
Did you get the name from the church, or was it just circumstance?
So when we moved to this area, we were looking for a church, and at that time, I was working for the beer company, and you know, while I was doing that, man, and looking for a church and trying to find God, and at work, my job was to try to get these companies to sell more beer. And that tore me up a lot of days because, you know, my mother-in-law lost her life to an accident. And that wasn't like a drunk driver. There might have been some intoxication. I don't know. I don't recall. But now my job is to get people to go out, eat with their families, drink more beer specials, and then drive home. And that was a conflict for me for a while. So we moved to the community, and we're looking for a church home, and we found Elevate Life, and you know, great people over there. And as we're going through that, and I'm at the beer company, I leave the beer company, and I have a choice of staying in that industry, because I also had a CDL license, and staying in the delivery industry and doing that. And the option came, you can go into fitness. So I went into fitness, and doing that, I wanted to do my own thing and start my own gym.
Were you already a certified coach? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So while I was working for the beer company, I got certified as a trainer, and I also enrolled back in school to get my associate's degree in business. And when we came to the area and I made that transition, I also made another transition from the gym that I was with to wanting to do my own thing. And what really separated me from that gym is that I didn't want to just nickel and dime people for all the small things. I wanted everyone, and it was like Elevate Life. They helped me elevate, like take a step in my confidence, and I was elevating in all of those ways. I want to do the same thing with people's health and their confidence and their fitness and their wellness. I want to elevate people. So I kind of got the name from that, and I spoke to the Pastor Tim at the time, and we had a conversation. I was like, man, do you mind if I use this Elevate in my gym? He was like, no, it's fine. So we're not, we're not affiliated, but what that church did and what that group did for me was help elevate me to, one, have the confidence to go out and believe that God was going to handle business the way he handles business. So I kind of took that and hoping that my gym will allow people to handle business the way God wants us to handle business. So that's where Elevate Fitness came from.
What did you create once you came across that? So you're a fitness coach and you decided that you have the name for a business. What was your intention? What did you want to create based off of that? What makes your gym any different?
If we think about the people that we come across in life that really want to help other people, a lot of it comes from a place of past struggle that they had. And for me, I had past struggles, man. I mean, homelessness, my car was repossessed. I've been married and divorced multiple times. And I was at a point where I had no idea why I was here. Why am I living? What is my life for? I had nothing. This is before kids. This is before my wife now. I'm staying with a friend. I have no money. I have no vehicle. And the only thing that I had was that fitness center in his community. And this was, we're talking 20 years ago, maybe 18 years ago. The only thing I had was that gym. And that gym, going to that gym, no food. I'm hungry. I ain't got no money, unless he comes and like, hey, I got you. I was really struggling. But that gym gave me enough confidence once I got done with my workout to believe that, there's hope. If I can do this, I can do something. Like it's not over. I can do something. So just being in that situation and knowing what a workout, knowing what that did to my mindset, I feel like many people may be in that place, maybe not that deep, maybe they're not at their end, but they want something more out of life. They want something more out of their health. I want a place where people can go and this happens. You don't come into my gym. There's no judgment. It's not, we're not banging and clanking iron so you can look like a bodybuilder. It's you come in, you get physical growth, you get mental growth. And this is a place that wants the best for you, no matter where you are. And I want it to be an extension of God's love, of the church, of what could be when you put good people around you. And this is what I wanted it to be.
I was trying to explain to my wife, who's obviously an employee of Ray's, how I felt yesterday. I've been, I asked you a while ago, like, hey man, what's my rate for going? And you told me. I said, okay. And I had every opportunity, every door open, but I guess in a way, I don't know if I was necessarily being prideful, but I felt embarrassed. Kind of like you almost felt embarrassed when you first find out, like, hey, Jesus is my Lord, and you're too afraid to tell anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want people like, what?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Ray?
Yeah.
Or you're afraid that they're not going to accept what you're saying, I'm like, man, you religious, man? Come on. And they try to talk you out of something that you feel in your heart.
Yeah.
So I walked into there and I decided, how am I going to interview Ray and not even have an experience at his gym? I've experienced his gym. I've been to your gym.
Yeah.
But I haven't done a workout. And my wife said, good on you.
Yeah.
It was I was told you I was trying to rid myself of sin, and one of them is being lazy, sloth. And most people don't want to do anything for themselves because it hurts. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, change is uncomfortable.
What do you do there different that makes your approach to fitness more attractive?
I want people to understand that starting small is okay. When you get through that door, walking through the door is a step. And all of these steps, setting your alarm to wake up early in the morning is a step. And you have to view all of those as small wins that can help, that will help. And getting into that door is a win. And once you get through that door, I don't consider anyone who's employed by me, anyone who is in that gym coaching, a trainer, because I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
Because a trainer is, when I have you, it's you and I'm working, we're doing this, we're doing that, but when it's said and done, it's done.
Right.
And for me, I've coached close to thousands now, and people that I've coached 8 years ago, I'm still their coach because I care about them as humans. And when people come in, I want you to know that you take the small step, you take that win, but this is a place where we care for you as humans, as who you are, where you are, and we'll start there, and that's okay. But the biggest thing is that most people won't take that step that you just took. So you've already taken just a massive step in your life. So I want people to know that coming in is not easy, but it is a big win, and it should be celebrated. And then we go from there.
Yeah, it was at some point I felt a little emotional with the pastor behind the music and stuff, because I felt like, it was what I needed to hear that day. Like I said, I felt embarrassed, but that quickly went away as soon as I walked in the door. And that was just like some type of emotional or block that I'm sure a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I would make an excuse like, well, my foot hurts.
Yeah.
Or my back hurts. Well, guess what? They all hurt today.
Yeah.
But it's a good hurt, you
Yeah,
know? And,
yeah.
you know, we all have those differences like pain versus good pain. I know from past exercising that, you know, that's your muscle healing now. You pumped it full of blood that it's not used to having.
It's torn out of fibers. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your gym at?
2141 Lockrain Boulevard, Orange Park, Florida, right by the high school, next to the recruiters areas, which I believe was strategically placed there because what we have around us is we have our military around us, and I have a high respect for the military. And then you have a place where people are going to try to get their lives back on track. You have a place where people are going to try to stay alive. And then you have a place where people are hearing some of the worst news of their lives. And we are here, and I'm able to point these places out as you can look at this as, you know, I don't want to end up there. I don't want to be in that place. And I've met so many people. I've helped people come out of those places. I mean, and it can get really emotional. I mean, there was a guy who came out of the dialysis center one time, and he was like, you know what? I used to jump and move like you, and this is where I am. It allows you to be thankful and grateful for what God has given you. And if he's given you the ability to move, take advantage of it. So we have all of these things around that for me are just triggers, but I believe we're strategically placed in that area. So people can walk out and they can be grateful. And then people who go into these places can see that, hey, there's some humans in here that are trying to get stronger, trying to get better. But I want to touch what you said about when you were in there, you felt this emotion. And that is the epicenter of Elevate Fitness. You can work out anywhere. You can come right in here. You can do push-ups. You can do wall sits. You can do it all. When you connect the mind and the body, when you connect the ability to physically move, but you also have that emotional connection where you allow whatever's inside of you to be broken up and you're fighting through it physically, that's where people grow. And I think that's why we're still here through COVID, through all of those things. That's why we're still here, I believe, in my opinion, you know, not to sound like, you know, we're better than anyone else because, you know, we still have our struggles. But at the end of the day, it's about people coming in and having that feeling that you have. Like, you know what? Like something touched me, because that happens to me all the time. Like there's something that I'm battling. There's sin, there's struggle, there's hurt. There's so many things. And we all think that we're just working out to look good. Our body is a temple.
What was the first thing I told you yesterday? You remember?
Wait, no.
I said, Ray, I just want to live longer.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
Just live
I said it may be like, hey, you know, I'm taking a journalistic approach and going the day before the interview to go work out. But my main goal was I just want to be here longer for my kids.
You gotta have your priorities right, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have your priorities right. It's easy to say it. It's easy to do it. It's easy for people to say that, you know, I want to be here for my kids and I want my kids but what actions do you? All of that stuff takes work. My picture that I showed you yesterday, all of that takes work. You can pull the picture up. Maybe I do have it memorized. Pull the picture up. I know at the top, at the very top, it's God. And that is for me to always have faith.
Well, that's the easy one.
One of my prayers is because I got saved when I was 18. And then I stepped far away from God in my 20s. So my prayer now on a regular basis, I pray over my daughters every night. They're not going to sleep unless Dad prays over them. But my prayer every day is, God, just keep me close. I don't want to stray like I did when I was 18. So I want to always have a little bit of faith, and it can be just as small, but I just never want to lose it. I always want to I want to have some fire at all times. I never want to lose it. It doesn't have to be a big flame. That's at the top. And then it's my, is it my wife? Oh, my health. Yeah. Okay. So my health. I just want to move through life. I want to be able to move. I don't want to be 70 and 80 and have to be pushed around if I can control it. Some things we can't control. Some things we get to a point where we can't control, but at some point we could have. And
well, I think the time is now.
Yeah. You said you want to live longer.
I just want to live longer, man.
It's now, because if you don't start now, what if in 20 years something comes about that keeps you from walking, keeps you from moving, that you could have worked on right now?
I believe, and I told my friend yesterday, like, you can go to any gym and stand there for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say anything to you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to Ray's gym, he's going to be like, hey, man, what are you doing? So there's that level of involvement where, hey, man, you're part of this. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I told him, I was like, man, he came to me a couple times and told me to slow down.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was right.
Yeah.
I took his advice. I'm like, yes, coach.
Yeah. That's the professional side of it. You gotta
burn your wick too fast.
Yeah. Yeah. But and it's not, I don't think that's pride. I think that's desire. Yeah. I think that's the desire to get back, to be where you were, to do what you can. And I think that's okay. But that desire has to be maintained, because
pride kind of takes a turn to the worst when you're unteachable and you don't want to, like, there was never a thought like, oh, Ray doesn't have something I need, he doesn't have something that I need. I've always felt like, man, I just want to get the courage, or because like I said, I was just embarrassed.
Yeah.
Was the main thing. And I would come up with an excuse. And so anyway, next is marital.
I mean, 3 times.
Me too, man.
2 times I striked out. 2 times I struck. And you know what?
But we learned from those experiences.
We learned.
Big time.
And they were on me. Like, we had the conversation. They were on me. Mm-hmm. And I made a decision this go around, and this wasn't early. This was later in the marriage, because early in the marriage, I felt like I was going down the same path as I was before. And it's immaturity, and it's the lack of acknowledging that God has to guide it, because I have to constantly have something tearing on my heart, tugging on my heart at all times. There can't be a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm doing it all right. Because if I get to that point, then I'm looking at what the other individual isn't doing right. And then I'm starting to point fingers. So it's always me. Mm-hmm. So for me, I want just to be, for my wife, man, I just want to be what it is that she needs, whatever God's called me to be for her. And I take that, that's top 3. I take that as a priority. She's a priority over everything else. Under my health, it's under God, because if I don't have my health, if I don't have God, then I'm shreds of a man for her. But that's priority. And then after that should be my kids. Yeah, my kids. And kids are a driving point, but I don't necessarily do what I do because I with my oldest daughter, she listens to me. They all listen to me, and they all kind of tune in. They get sick of hearing what Dad has to say, like most kids. But my oldest daughter, I believe that she listens sometimes, and I believe that she does that not because just that I'm her father, but because she's seen me do the things that I'm asking her to do. And she's found it to be true, that I'm not just going through the motions, that, this man really wants me to live the best life that I can live. And he's not just telling me, he's not just saying, hey, do this and then doing something totally different. I'm living what I say. But it's ultimately so when they come out here, they can live a life where they have joy and peace and they can be the light for someone else. So, yeah, they are priority. And the next is career. Those are the last two, financial
and career.
Yeah. Like I say, man, I was broke. I had nothing.
This, by the way, is your why. Your kids, your wife.
My wife, yeah.
Your health.
Yeah, that's my why. Yeah. I had nothing. I don't know how many people have you went to sleep hungry. And I don't mean like fasting.
Bro, I've never been in that situation. I can empathize with you, but I can't.
I mean, and you know, a lot of it is pride. It's
gotta be pretty scary.
A lot of it is pride, but you know, I've slept in my car, and I was telling you before though, those unfortunate circumstances, they still come down to me. It was me. You know, it wasn't. I can sit here and be like, oh, I brought that on myself,
mm-hmm.
and because I've gone through that and those struggles, that's why I'm so passionate about helping people in this gym. And that's when the career comes in. It's what I do is try to help people understand that you can do better. And if you're doing the best, you can maintain that. And you can grow a little bit more every day. And you can find out a little bit more about yourself every day. And you don't have to just work out to take pictures and for videos and because you want to go on a cruise and look good in your
social media life.
Yeah, man. It's
crazy.
My career is to help people understand that health and wellness goes a long way. It's number 2 on my list. So it's important to me. And I want people to understand that it's important. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I do this. Because it's not a joke to me. I have fun. I have fun doing it. I love doing it. My family thinks that I'm not working. It can be extremely stressful. I deal with so many people, so many questions every day. And I think some people, maybe you can't tell, but I love doing this, man. I love when people come in and they say, I want to live longer.
You want to know why people look at it that way? It's like, it's the same reason why Jordan made it so easy to dunk and to shoot the ball, and it's because he's practiced. He's perfected his game.
Yeah.
And that's where you're at. You've perfected your game. Do you have any ambitions to open another gym?
Well, I haven't perfected my game, man.
Well, you're perfecting your game. You told me before you came in here, you know, it's not about work and all that kind of stuff. You're perfecting your game to the T, right? You're going to cross off one thing and move on to the next thing that you need to fix.
Yeah. So
whatever's tugging on your heart.
I use these things. You got perfection, and then you have excellence. I don't ever want to think that I'm trying to perfect. I don't want to try to perfect this.
Okay, perfect is the wrong game.
Yeah, I want to be excellent, man. I want because perfection is setting myself up for failure. Because if I have someone that I don't connect with, and I think that I'm the perfect coach, or I want to be the perfect coach, and I don't connect, then no. But excellence means that if you come through my doors, I'm going to give you my best, and my best looks different every day. And if I don't give you my best, I'm still striving for excellence. So I'm going to work to try to give you my best. And I know what you were saying, because, and I wonder if Jordan feels like he perfected his game. I wonder if he feels like, you know what, I'm trying to perfect this, or I just want to do this at 100% every chance, every time.
Well, I think you can look at it a couple different ways. He constantly had the end goal in mind.
Yeah.
Right? Every shot.
Yeah.
The end goal is in mind.
Yeah.
So to try to perfect your game or become excellent, give the best experience to people for a reason, you have to strive for excellence. You have to strive for perfection. But you can't get mad at the fact when you fail, because you know me, man. Like we've we're going to be stronger, better husbands because we failed already.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These other guys only have one wife. Like, man, you haven't even failed yet.
Yeah. You don't
even know what you're doing.
Suck at it, and then you learn.
And then you realize, like, it probably took the third marriage to go, like, look, the problems I were having, that there's another person that had their thing, but I can't focus on that. That's something I can't change. What I can change is my future.
Yeah.
I can change my life.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, man, I have a goal that I'm shooting for once a week. We'll see how the recoveries happen. But like once or twice a week, I want to try to do that, go into the gym. And, I bought myself a bicycle thinking that, oh man, but then it got really cold.
Yeah, I got a bike too.
So, yeah?
Yeah, I got a bike too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This Christmas?
No, well, actually, it's funny because I was watching a friend drive through downtown and record everything. And I was like, man, I didn't know we had all that stuff downtown. And I was like, you know what? If I had a bike, I would ride downtown and look for this stuff. And then like 2 weeks later, someone, Courtney.
Okay.
Yeah, Courtney was like, you know what? Do you want Chris's old bike? It's built for a tall man. And I was like,
he was a tall man too.
Yeah, he was a big guy. She said big guy. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So, I mean,
Chris is bigger than tall.
Chris is a massive man. But so, and you say, and now this is what's important to me, right? Because you say once or twice a week. You got to get specific, and you have to give yourself a realistic goal, right? So people are like, I want to go, I start 6 days a week, and that's not realistic if you haven't. I would say if you're going to set a goal, 1 time a week is fine. How long? I'm going to do 1 time a week for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, see how it feels, reevaluate. And I'm going to stay at 1 week for another 4 weeks, or then I'm going to go to 2. Because we do take people through those steps. It's you have to measure whatever it is in life that you want to accomplish. You have to be able to measure it, because I can say, I want to eat better. What does that mean? If I'm eating, Chick-fil-A 6 times a week, does eating better, is that 5 times? Is it 4 times? Like, how do I measure that? Everything I feel has to be measurable, and that's in fitness, that's in everything. And you have to have these goals, because if you do not have goals, someone once told me, like, I don't make goals. I just want to do this and I want to do that. And at one point I thought the same thing. Yeah, I don't need goals. I'm just going to keep on, and then you become stagnant.
They're like, what? That's stupid. Why would I want to write that down?
Yeah, and then you become stagnant, and then you wonder, like, why do I feel like? Because in your mind, that's not something that you're constantly working towards. It doesn't have to be a big goal. It doesn't have to be, I'm striving to open a whole bunch of more gyms. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm good with one. And so I have goals for this gym right now,
right?
That are measurable, that I've been working to meet, and it's gradually climbing. And doing that, maybe it might spark a fire. You'd be like, you know what? Let's. But is opening up another gym on that list? It is not on that list right now. But as long as I'm taking what I have and getting better. So even with my faith, I always want to have just a little bit, but that has to constantly grow, and it has to be measured. And how can I measure that? How can I measure just keeping that little bit? Well, I have to make sure I pray every day. I have to do that. I have to at least talk to God every day, even when I feel the furthest. I have to talk to him every day. And that's how I measure that. And I feel like everything has to be measured. How do you measure your relationship with your wife? Well,
no argument incidents in 30 days straight.
I mean, however you measure it, I was
just joking.
I mean, listen, I got different ways to measure. If my wife is really happy when she sees me, That's how I measure mine. Like if she's
That's a good
excited,
start.
yeah. If she's like, if I can come in the house and I can get an aggressive hug and kiss, all right, I'm working towards that goal of making sure that she's happy. But that's my first thing. When I come in the house, I will stiff arm my children to get to my wife. They know that. Sometimes they try to jump in and be like, oh, is dad slipping? No. Stiff arm my kids, go to my wife. When I leave in the morning, if she's not covered her whole body in the blankets, every morning I leave, I give her a kiss before I go. Now, if she's covered, I don't pull the blankets off. But that's my measurable to make sure that she's always the epicenter. Mm-hmm. So everything, man, it has to be measurable. And once you start doing those things, it becomes like second nature. And then you got to kick it up a notch so you don't become stagnant.
I hear you're going to start doing some Zumba classes.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. And people probably think that it's on me because like Amanda was like, whose food is that in there? And I was like, I don't know. I'm going to make a post and find out whose food that is. And it was mine. And it's been in there for 3 weeks. So people kind of, you know what? And I like it. I like it because I don't want them to think that, coach is just this robot, because I'm no different than anyone else, man. I just, can I do Zumba? I could. I'm not. So I got someone else to do this dance workout. But yeah, man, it's I don't get to share my story enough, because everyone thinks that I just wake up in the morning and I just go. And, they don't know that this came from a struggle. They don't know that I battle the same way that they battle, that I have to have the same conversations that they have. Like, should I eat this? Should I not? Am I going to work out today? Am I not? And after all these years, those conversations just in the back of my mind, I already know the answer. But I'm still battling with it every day. It's still cold outside. I don't want to work out. It's still hard. And I try to, like, when I left that food, I try to connect. I'm like, oh, it was me. Like, I make mistakes. Somebody brought Amanda that king cake, and they didn't bring me the king cake. And I was like, why didn't you bring? And because they don't think that I eat it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I had to tell them I would.
And Amanda loves desserts, man.
I do too.
Every day. You do too.
I do too. Well,
you're like, don't leave me out, man. I like sweets.
And here's the thing, like, I have to reel myself in because, I know how it makes me feel. I know what it does, but it's still a battle. Like, people are.
It's a battle for me too, man.
You open the freezer and you see all this stuff, and you have to have these conversations. Should I? And then you lose some and you eat it all. Yeah, that's me. I'm right there. The only difference is I have my list. And if I feel like I'm coming too far off of that list, I got to get back, because those are important to me. And if I can't say no sometimes, then how do I say no to temptation? How do I say no to a bad business move if I can't control myself? So all of it, to me, it's an alignment. And that's how I coach.
Well, what you're talking about is willpower.
Yeah.
You got very strong willpower.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
From the outside looking in.
Yeah, and that's strong. The thing. And I don't, from the inside speaking out, I don't know if I would say that it's a strong willpower. I don't believe that's what it is. I personally believe that I just put barriers. I just put I don't buy certain foods. Even as far as my relationship with my wife and other women, even our closest friends understand. Like, there's no woman riding in my car. Like, if I have my oldest daughter in there and, I got to pick somebody up who's an adult female, then that's fine because I have my daughter there. But if my wife's not in the car, you can't get in the car. And if the circumstances, like if it's an emergency situation, I'll call somebody else. We'll figure it out. But I stick to those things. So I don't think that you have to have all the willpower. I think that you have to have the desire, and then you set the goal, and it has to really be meaningful. It can't just be a fly by night, like, hey, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds and, because it's a new year. That's not gonna stick. But I spoke to someone yesterday and they want to have children. That's important to them, and they want to lose a certain amount of weight. So it'll likely stick a little bit more because there's something more at stake. But when it's really meaningful to you, you'll do it. So I don't think that it's necessarily my willpower. I just think that over time I've come to know myself and learn myself a little bit, that this is what's really important to me. If you take these things away, if you take this out, then I am slightly wounded. But as long as I'm focusing on these, I cannot really be deterred. Like, I'm not concerned with what people say. I'm not concerned with all of the outside world. This is important, and it's really hard to break that. So when you do that, you don't really need willpower. You just, discipline, habits, maybe more of those good habits, just routines that you constantly do. I eat the same thing for breakfast 350 days out of the year. People think that that's...
What do you eat?
I eat oatmeal. With strawberries, blueberries, apples. In the oatmeal, I put a little bit of protein. I put almond milk. I put chia seeds and cinnamon. And to me, that tastes really good. I had to experiment over time to find out and it's just a trial and error, but I eat that. That's what I'm gonna eat later on today. I eat probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I do that on a regular basis. And that keeps me from wanting to eat donuts. It keeps me from wanting to do anything. Like, people are like, let's go eat breakfast. No, I'm okay. Because I already have in my mind what I'm going to eat, and I enjoy that. So, and that's healthy. That keeps me healthy. So if I eat pizza tonight, because I made the choice to eat pizza, I still started my day like this. And I think that's what most people should do. Find out what works.
Most people think, I'm going to go and work out and I'll probably burn 300, 400 calories. So then, I don't know. Do they think, I could just eat more later today?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
100%.
That's wild.
The majority.
Like, I worked out today. I can enjoy a little bit. Like, no, you can't.
Listen, this is the majority of people come into the gym and they want to push themselves so hard doing a workout so they can try to burn what happens in the kitchen. And it doesn't work like that. And then they'll come to me and like, hey, I want some changes. I want to see some changes. What are you eating? Because they put all the pressure on the gym, in what you do in the gym. And that's only a small percentage. The physical part is, if you eat well, it shows over time. The mental part is by far the biggest gain, in my opinion, that you get. But so many people come in, they eat horribly, and all they want to do is just burn calories. They'll do cardio. They'll do whatever it takes to burn calories because they feel like if I burn calories, now I'm getting ahead of. And they don't realize that's not how it works. That's not how the body works. And you will have to burn a whole lot of calories to make up what you ate. You will have to work out like 4 hours to make up with what you ate.
Well, everything in life becomes consistency, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Back to the Michael Jordan comment it's just consistent. You consistently eat the same thing. You consistently think about and center yourself around these certain topics. You constantly refer back to being focused. You're just a constant guy.
I try to be consistent because if I am consistent, when I do fall off,
you're like, wait a minute, something's off.
I know.
You're punishing yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I can, because I have an idea of where I want to go, where I want to be, what I want to do, it makes it easier to get back on track. So I'm not necessarily reaching out or looking for people to pull me up. I kind of just just work on it on my own. But I need good people like me coming here today, hearing your stories and knowing, of your time in the military and knowing that you were married also, and with your skills that you have with audio and video and your knowledge of those things. Like, to me, I think that's amazing because I would say that I could. It would take a whole lot of studying and work and hours to even try to get to this level. This is not easy to do. So for me to see this and to see what you do, it also encourages me. So we're all, just like you said when you were going to do the recording, and you didn't want to get involved. You don't want people to think that because these are good people. You got to look for good people, and you got to get whatever you can from good people. So I just coming here today, just learning this little bit, and the stories that you told me has helped. So I don't necessarily go out and look for people to pull me up, but I am paying attention when God puts somebody in my life, and I can hear a story, and I can learn from that and grow from that, then I'll take it. But on my own, I'm sticking to my pillar, and just trying to stay consistent on that. And in doing so, it gives me a fighting chance just to live here and be at peace, man. Just to live this one life. My wife, in the middle of the night, she was like, we're just living to die. Middle of the night. I'm like, oh. Yeah, and she was like, these kids, they, in 2 generations, we're going to be forgotten about. And I was like, yeah. So I'm just sitting here thinking, but it is true. Our time here is short. And then we go on. And where we go, we can have belief. We don't know because, I believe that we'll go to a place that's peaceful, but we will no longer be here. So we're here, we're gone, and then we are, not necessarily forgotten about, but, I don't really speak of my great-great-grandfather or my great-grandfather. I don't even know if I know who they are.
I know who my grandparents were, but I don't know anything beyond that personally. But I think it's just a matter of it's a generational thing. Yeah. It's a technological thing. Like I told you, man, I mean, I've released 76 episodes of this podcast, and that's 76 opportunities for my future generations to hear from me.
Yeah.
I would be all over that if I can hear wisdom from my grandparents.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being able to pass down generational wisdom? Like, my son doesn't have to go and learn this stuff on his own. He will, but he has someone to guide him.
Yeah.
On all of these topics that we talk about.
Yeah.
Ray, how does someone get a hold of you? How does someone sign up for your gym?
They can go to the website, man. They can go to the website. It's
I'll
fairly
put it on
simple.
The screen.
Yeah, it's fairly simple. Go to the website and you'll click a submission form, give us your information, and then we'll reach out to you. And we invite everyone to come in for a free trial, free week, and we don't do contracts. And we do the free week because we want to give you more than one opportunity to come in. And I like for people to come in to have that excitement, that release of endorphins, and then not make a decision under that. See, most gyms do the opposite. You come in, you work out, you're on that high, we go in the room, we seal you in. I don't want anyone feeling sealed in, because if you feel like you just committed to something and you are second guessing it 2-3 days later, when you come in, I can't play the music that I want to play because I'm trying to appeal to you specifically so you don't want to leave. Well, if you come in and you're like, you know what, I want to do this. You want to be a part of this, and you've heard multiple opportunities of what we do, and you've had opportunities to see how we do it, and you want to be a part of it, because at the end of the day, every coach wants every person they come in contact with just to be a little better. We're not going to beat you down. We're not going to overwork you. We don't want you leaving, hurt and injured. We want you to leave confident. We want you to build up self-confidence. We want you to build up strength. I want people to be 60, 70, 80, still able to do stuff. We have those people in the gym. We have 60. Yeah. Yes, we have some, man, and it's amazing. And that's what we want for people. That's what I want for people. That's why we're here. So yeah, you can just go to the website. You can go to our Facebook page, Elevate Fitness Orange Park. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Coaching Greatness, and somebody will respond.
And I don't want to say that most people, and we didn't really discuss this maybe a little bit, but this type of atmosphere that you're creating is a community builder. And you're contributing to that community by your expertise, your professionalism, your just willingness to get involved more than just a trainer. And that community, some people really just go to the gym just for that sometimes, I think.
And they come in and talk. Yeah.
It's important to have community like this. If you're not part of a church or you're not part of a sports organization, you don't have kids, it's really, really important to be part of the community. And one step is to join Elevate Fitness.
Come on. We'll take you. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, thanks for being on the episode today and sharing your story with us. If anybody is looking to make a change in their life, I bet you your health is something that you need to always consistently address. And if you don't, you're going to pay for it later. So, hey, thanks for being on the episode, Ray.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.